I was never an RFP writer. But what I do know is that a lot of work goes into requests for proposals. And aside from the, let's say, the performance of the fund that the prospect is looking to invest in being important, and the, you know, the investment strategy and all that kind of stuff, what was also really important was operations. How did you onboard clients? You know, how do you do this, do that? It was as much people, it's very underestimated, but if you want to call it middle office, back office, whatever, business management, that is sold just as much as the client relationship process, just as much as the investment management process in getting clients on board. Now, here's going to be the interesting part. For certain things, of course, there were like RFP machines, or there were standard answers that were updated. The data was updated in the background and you pulled it all together, then you kind of revamped it. However, this year, RFPs are definitely going to play more of a role, because the question around DEI is going to come up more and more. And this is going to be the kind of part where you can't just say, we have hired somebody, or, you know, it is our aim. That there's going to have to be tangibles, just because when you send an RFP in general, you also have to send the supporting documentation to kind of prove that not only that this is what you're saying, but this is actually true. Now, the question is, how are you currently answering your DEI questions? Is it a scramble? How could that, because this is all part of the measurement, right? We're talking about investors becoming more savvy. And it's not just selling ops, it's also selling that part. It's selling the, what are you doing that's above and beyond? What are you doing? What's more than a commitment? And thinking about, well, how do you then take that into the next stage and say, well, actually, this is, how do you show, validate the action that you've taken or planning to take? And it might be something as simple as, now I don't know the exact stats, but I know when it comes to kind of whistleblowing and complaints, etc., that a lot of the times, you know, women are heavily disadvantaged in that process. So it might be producing a report substantiating the overhaul of your whistleblowing process, showing that you are placing or taking gender equality very seriously, the steps you've put in place, the steps you plan to put in place, so that at each part of the year, you can keep updating that report to say, this is what we've done in this process, because this is us standing by the SDGs and our pledges to gender equality and our pledges to reducing discrimination, etc., etc. Or it might be something about looking for promotion criteria, right? We have overhauled our promotion criteria because we have found out doing our internal report that women are not making it further than XYZ because of the broken rung. And what we plan to do is XYZ. And this is what we've done in the meantime. Because clients will no longer accept a generic answer with a generic number that doesn't really have much meaning. Or the third example is, you know, we have closed the gender gap within our company. But when you say that, it's not going to have like 1,000,001 asterisks behind it, which ultimately means it's completely caveated out, which means there's still a gender pay gap. RFPs will, going forward, play an increasing role. And this part around gender equality is going to be even more scrutinized. So it's not just about saying, hey, we are planning to do this. It's going above and beyond and creating the reports, finding the data. First of all, making it a priority, right? Make it a priority, making gender equality, gender equity an absolute priority in real and meaningful ways within your company. Finding data is only numbers, right? So it's finding the data, extracting the insights, and implementing the strategy, but showing that as part of the DNA of the company. I think I said last year, once upon a time, it was fine for you to have a great product. Great product, awesome. People bought the great product. Last year was, okay, now you have to have some sort of value element to it. And everyone said, okay, here are my values, a list. But now there's a new component. Now there's the great product plus values and showing that you've taken action. And substantiating that at every single part of the process. Selling investment process, yes. Selling operations, yes. But also selling the governance around gender equality. To show that you aren't just saying it, but you're doing it. You're evidencing it. And even if you're only at the part of data extraction, put finite boundaries on that. We want to have all the data by X. And after we do that, then we do Y. The more generic you are, the less trustworthy it becomes. And then there are question marks. So I think this is one of the key ways that it can be shown that you're a company of action, as opposed to just hearing about the action, what you're planning to do. This is how you show it. This is how you show it to potential investors. And the best part about it is it works all round. Because once you're doing it and you get into the habit of doing it, you're not just doing it for an RFP, you're not just doing it to win business, you're also benefiting the women within your company by taking this action because you're walking the talk. So, those are really the 3 points. And if you want to know how to do more of that, feel free to reach out to me directly via LinkedIn or via email. The details are in my profile. But it has to be action. And the plans for action have to be finite. Because now it's about proving, no longer talking. So, I look forward to getting your email or your message. Have a great day. Bye-bye.